again, everybody, along with Billy Sample, Skip Carey, welcoming you to another night of Atlanta Braves baseball. Braves and Reds in the fourth and final game of the series. A couple of good young right-handers on the mound. John Smoltz for Atlanta. Jose Rijo, who's having a bang-up year for the Cincinnati team. And some significant roster changes for the Braves, Billy.
Okay, Skip. Delete Ken Griffey, Albert Hall, and Bruce Sutter. Ken Griffey was put on waivers for the purpose of giving him his unconditional release. Albert Hall has had recurring hamstring problems, and Bruce Sutter has been affected by a viral disease called Bell's palsy that's paralyzed the side of his face for a while. And add Terry Blocker, Lonnie Smith, and Joe Baver to the lineup.
Blocker and Smith will be in that lineup tonight. We'll be back with that in the play-by-play story right after this.
Barry Larkin, the shortstop. Chris Sabo batting third at third base. Eric Davis cleaning up in center field. Paul O'Neill in right. Nick Osaski, the first baseman. Bo Diaz behind the plate. Jeff Treadway at second base, and Jose Rijo on the mound. You see Jose walking in, hard-throwing right-hander with a lot of life to his ball. He'll face Ronnie Gann at second base. Ken Oberkfell at third. Gerald Perry, the first baseman. Dale Murphy in right field. Andres Thomas, the shortstop. Lonnie Smith in left field. Bruce Benedict behind the plate. Terry Blocker in center field. And John Smoltz on the mound. You look at our arbiters behind the plate. Residing in Chicago, Charlie Williams. From Asheville, North Carolina, a former football great, Joe West. Bob Engel from Bakersfield, California, will be at second, and Tom Hallian from Louisville will be umping at third. As John Smoltz finishes his warm-up pitches, coming off a fine debut to bring you the American and National League scoreboards and everything else going in the world of sport, Skip Carey.
Okay, Billy, thank you. In the National League, one game underway. Houston leads the Padres 3-1 out in San Diego. They've played 4.5. Bob Nepper against Eric Shaw. St. Louis and Montreal tonight. Bob Force against Bryn Smith. And the Cubs are at Philadelphia. Calvin Schiraldi against Shane Raleigh. American League all under the lights. Milwaukee at New York. Baltimore at Cleveland. Kansas City at Detroit. California at the White Sox. And those are the only games scheduled. Here we go. Cal Daniels leads it off. He's hitting .288, 10 homers, 40 RBI. John Smoltz from Glen Falls, New York, ready to go.
His last outing we saw, John, or his first major league outing, he was around the plate, seemed to have command of everything he threw.
0-1 the count.
Basically a fastball. I guess it's a curveball. I'll have to ask to find out. It has a sharp late break to it.
Fastball high and away, evens it up at 1-1. 89 degrees and muggy at game time. A threat of a shower in the air.
And he'll occasionally change speeds, or at least he did in that game against the Mets.
Curve low, 2-1. We're just underway from Atlanta. Braves hit the road after this one. Smoltz falls behind 3-1. He's just 21 years old. His best fastball against the Mets was clocked at 92 miles an hour. The 3-1. Broken bat looper to short, 1 out. And Smoltz, not in a cocky way, but after the game, said that he felt he didn't have his good fastball.
Well, he was throwing that 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the 7th inning. That's a good sign when you can still maintain that kind of velocity late in the game.
Well, if John felt homesick in his first start here, he won't tonight. He looks out there and sees a couple of his outfielders who he played with at Richmond. Fast strike, 0-1.
Skip, if the sun had been out, I was going to have an interesting bet for you, because we have two hard-throwing right-handers.
Curveball, a beauty, right in there, 0-2.
And we've talked about the difficulties of seeing at 5:35. In the 18 outs, I was going to see how many strikeouts you think the two pitchers would have accumulated.
The 0-2. What 18 outs? Perry is waiting. 2 down.
Through the first 3 innings.
Oh. I knew there were more than that in the game, and I wondered where you were coming from. Here's Chris Sabo. It's against the law to gamble in the state of Georgia. We'll make a bet when we fly across Nevada on our way into San Francisco. 2 out, nobody on. Fastball down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Tomorrow night, Zane Smith against Rick Russell. We'll have it for you at 10:35. Well, actually, we'll have it for you at 10:30. If you wait till 10:35, you'll miss the tease. You wouldn't want to do that. 2 balls, no strikes. High pop, foul territory. Who wants it? Oberkfell calls off Benedict. Pretty easy inning for the kid. 3 infield pops. No hits, no runs, no errors, none left. Now a pretty good kid takes the mound for the Reds. No score. There's a look at the Red defense. It will be Gant, Oberkfell, and Perry against Jose Rijo in the first. He's 11-5 with a 2.44 earned run average, and he is finally living up to the promise that so many teams have felt he had. I remember him down in West Palm Beach several years ago when he was about 17 years old in a Yankee farm system. Came in to pitch, I think it was in a B game, and jaws were dropping all over the ballpark. Boy, he could really throw, and obviously he still can.
I believe he did sign when he was 16.
Yeah.
And he started the season out in the bullpen. Got some of those wins in relief. It seems as though every time the Reds came from behind, he was on the mound. But he has outstanding stuff. As you said, your jaws will drop, and sometimes they drop when you're in the batter's box. Good live fastball, hard-breaking curve, turns the ball over.
And misses high with a curveball, and the bottom of the first is underway. Some baseball news today. The Red Sox named Jerry McNertney as their bullpen coach for the rest of the year. He threw the fastball by Gant. Phillies have activated Lance Parrish from the 15-day disabled list. The 1-1 pitch. Caught the outside corner, 1-2. Pirates have recalled catcher Tom Prince from Buffalo. Junior Ortiz broke a collarbone last night making a diving catch. Did he go? He did. Gant is called out on strikes. Joe West catches a little heat from the Atlanta dugout, but he says he went around, one away.
Let's see. Ronnie obviously didn't think so. I'm not sure of that myself. Let's get a better angle. Looked a lot closer from that angle.
So Gant is out, and Oberkfell the batter. Strike called over the outside corner, 0-1. We're scoreless in the bottom of the first. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Daniels. He'll have no problem with that. 2 out. So Oberkfell is retired, and Gerald Perry will be the batter. The Chicago Bears traded wide receiver Willie Gault out of the University of Tennessee to the Raiders for a first-round draft choice in '89 and another choice in '90. Not as many bobsled runs in the Los Angeles area as there are in Chicago. Oh, he's some athlete, Gault. Pitch to Perry. Check swing strike, 0-1.
I think Gault played his scholastic ball in nearby Griffin, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Or LaGrange, somewhere in that area. A real estate developer named David either Sabi or Sabi has offered $20 million to buy a 20% share of the Seattle Mariners.
So that franchise is worth $100 million then.
That's what, I guess that's what Mr. Sabi thinks. Or maybe he just likes baseball. Ball and a strike, the count.
whatever. It really means you can get great return on your investment if you have the money to invest in a baseball franchise.
2 balls and a strike. Dale Murphy on deck. Gerald waits and pulls it hard. Almost got his first base coach Roy Matika, who did a little polka as he got out of the way. And the count evens at 2-2. Strike 3 call. Pretty good smoke there, and the inning is over. Rijo strikes out 2 in the first. No score after 1. Has been called here momentarily as they try to get the lights on. And they're warming up now, and I guess they're just going to go ahead. Eric Davis will lead it off, hitting .258, 16 homers, 52 RBI. Fair ball into the corner. Davis still not running well, but he'll run enough to get 2 on this. He's at second with nobody out. Lonnie Smith comes up with it in left field. So Davis is aboard to lead off the second.
Eric Davis, as the Brave slugger Dale Murphy, been real hot since the All-Star break. As you see him line this one past a diving Ken Oberkfell.
Paul O'Neill is hitting .258, 10 homers, 42 RBI. Smoltz fastball high. 1 ball, no strikes. After the game tonight, Fort Apache is the movie. Is that the one about a New York police precinct?
It's Fort Apache in Bronx. This is
a simple shake of the head one way or the other would have been sufficient. It's not? Why didn't you say so?
Must be Fort Apache the Laramie or something like that.
Fort Apache the Apache. Don't make fun of the promo, Skip. Sure. The 2-0. Slow, it's 3-0. No, this is a conflict between authoritarian cavalry colonel. There should have been an A in there, Richard. Conflict between an authoritarian cavalry colonel and a pragmatic officer. Who wants it? Andres Thomas. 1 out. Henry Fonda, John Wayne, Shirley Temple star. John Ford directed. Fort Apache after the game.
Some pretty good pitching there. You know, O'Neill's trying to pull the ball to the right side. He's able to do that in 9 out of 10 times. And Smoltz threw him the fastball that he couldn't pull. Popped it up on the infield.
Here's that man again, Nick Osaski. Curveball, pretty good pitch, but Charlie Williams said it missed the strike zone.
Osaski
1 ball, no strike.
Excuse me, Osaski only has 2 hits in this series.
And 2 game-winning RBI. Fastball up and in. It's 2-0. Big doubleheader in San Francisco on Sunday. Have that one for you at 3 o'clock. Saturday single game at 4 Eastern time. Three and 0. I would guess that Osaski will have the green light here the way he hits in this ballpark.
Is it correct that he has 15 home runs against the Braves lifetime, 13 in this park?
That is correct. Osaski takes a hike. First and second, 1 out. And Bo Diaz, the batter. Diaz at 227, 7 homers, 25 RBI.
Has the reputation of being a pretty good guess hitter.
Smoltz misses low and away with a fastball, 1-0. So he's in trouble here in the second. The leadoff double by Eric Davis. And a one-out walk to Oseski. Thunder rumbling overhead. Davis is going. Ground ball to third. Oberkfell tags in. Throws to first, and the inning is over. It would have been a double play anyway. That just made it that much easier. Davis ran right into the ball. And Smoltz is out of the second. Good play by Oberkfell. One hit. No runs, no errors, one left. We move to the bottom of the second in a scoreless game. Dale Murphy leads off the bottom of the second, and the storm clouds appear to be gathering in a hurry. What causes thunder anyway?
The clash of clouds.
The clash of clouds? That can't be right.
Once the clouds hit, that causes thunder.
No.
Seriously. One cloud hitting another causes thunder.
No, the clouds just go right through one another. If not, how could you ever fly on an airplane, man? You'd be bouncing backwards.
Well, they have to be heavy clouds.
Rijo to Murphy. There's a drive deep left center. Back goes Davis. That ball is up against the wall on a short hop. I'm surprised he didn't catch that ball. He must still be hurting. It's a double. I think Rijo's a little surprised too. But he hit it hard. It's a double for Murph.
Well, you get so used to seeing Eric Davis making this play. Dale reaches out and gets a pretty good breaking ball. And he hit it to left center field. Davis, of course, bothered by that pulled groin, not running at full strength.
Okay, well, if thunder is caused by the clouds bumping into each other, what causes the lightning? Pitch to Thomas outside. Is that a spark ignited when the clouds bump?
I usually watch the news and then go for a snack during the meteorological report.
A good answer then might have been, I don't know, dummy. The pitch. Ground ball to second. Good job, Andres. Runner at third, one out. And Lonnie Smith makes his debut this year, but it's not his debut. He has been with the Phillies, the Cardinals, Kansas City. A career .289 hitter this year at Richmond. Lonnie hit .300 with 26 stolen bases, 9 homers, 51 RBI. He's a guy who put up great numbers in his early years, then went into a decline, then had some chemical abuse problems. He's straightened those out and is had a banner year at Richmond, and they say played hard every minute down there. Many guys who were Major League All-Stars and in World Series sort of take it easy in AAA, not this guy, and the pitch is missed, and it's 0-1.
Lonnie, a good fastball hitter. Rijo threw him a good slider there. The Reds had the middle infielders back, and then Larkin and Treadway ran in with the pitch. So now they have the infield in.
The 0-1. Foul tipped it back. He had a good cut. He's in the hole 0-2. Smith has faced Rijo previously in the American League, was 0 for 7 against him. His best years were 1980 in Philadelphia when he had 33 stolen bases, batted .339. And the next year, 81, he had .324. The 0-2. Fastball high and away. A ball and 2 strikes. I would bet that Ken Griffey will sign with the Reds when the 72 hours is up.
You can't bet in this state.
That's what I said. I would bet. And will when we fly across Nevada. And I hope he does. That would be a great break for him because Cincinnati is his home.
Well, there were so many people or so many other teams that were interested, and I agree with you. I think there's a good chance that he'll go across the infield and go with his former team.
The 1-2 pitch. Got him. Threw the fastball by him. Strikeout number 3 for Rijo. Bruce Benedict, the batter.
Well, Jose gets it up there in a hurry. A high one. A little to it, and Lonnie didn't catch up with it.
So it's up to Benedict if the Braves are to score here in the second inning. On the corner, 0-1. We're scoreless in the bottom of the second. It's even, a ball and a strike. The 1-1. Here it is. High pop. Back comes Diaz. Does he have room? Yes. Braves leave a runner at third with one out. One hit, no runs, no errors, one left. We've played two. No score. Jeff Treadway will lead off the third inning for the Reds, and as he does with the play-by-play, here's Billy Sample.
Okay, thanks, Skip. It'll be Treadway, pitcher Jose Rijo, and the top of the order, Cal Daniels, to face John Smoltz. In his debut, John went 8 innings, giving up 1 run. That in the first inning. Was in a little of a jam last inning as Eric Davis hit his first pitch down the left field line for a double, but managed to get out of it as Treadway fouls the first pitch back. Our staff in the truck has defined what thunder is.
Boy, those clouds are really bumping up there, aren't they?
The bump, early 70s.
Well, there were clouds on too.
The 0-2. Foul down the left field line. That should be out of play. And Treadway, another 0-2 offering, fouls that one back. He, like Willie Gault from nearby Griffin, Georgia, about 30 miles south of Atlanta. To right, Murphy's there. Dale waves off. Blocker and catches it. Foul number 1. We saw in yesterday's ball game that both clubs seem to be playing for 1 run early, and I would imagine the same would hold true in this 5:45 contest as Rijo lines the first pitch. Dale's there, and he's retired the first 2 Reds in the third. We're starting to get a few flashes of lightning. The Braves will host one of a series of equitable all-star games. That'll be August 6th if you're in the area. Henry Aaron, Eddie Matthews, Warren Spahn will be among the participants. Daniels hit a soft liner to short his first time. And he leads the National League in on-base percentage, 3rd in the National League in walks. Count evens at 1. As John hangs on to that curveball a little bit too long. 2-1 to count. As Skip said, John has some of his AAA teammates behind him Blocker in center, Smith in left. As that curveball stays upstairs. 3-1 to count. There's center fielder Terry, who spent the first part of '88 with the Braves, and former major leaguer Lonnie Smith back for another trip. This one's lined at blocker. Terry runs in and gloves it for out number 3. So the Reds go 3 up and 3 down in their half of the third after 2.5. No score. Blocker, Smoltz, and Gant to face Jose Rijo in the Braves' third. Jose Rijo entered the game with a 2.44 earned run average. That's tied for 4th in the National League. Pascual Perez, the former Brave, leading for the 1.73. As Terry Blocker steps in, lines the first pitch by the legs of Rijo for his first hit of 1988. He was previously 0 for 5. And according to manager Russ Nixon, he really didn't care how much Blocker would hit up here. They wanted him for his defense, the fact that he can play center field, and his hitting will be a plus. Pitcher John Smoltz in a sacrifice situation. Rijo threw him the sharp curveball. Rijo would be a tough person to bunt because his fastball rises, and he does have that late sharp breaking curveball, as you look at Bobby Wine giving the signs. Sabo's already 4 steps in front of the bag and walking in. As you see, Smoltz squares and takes the ball outside. 1-1 the count. Blocker with good speed at first. They could switch and go for a straight steal or hit and run. As you see, Smoltz squares. He got the bunt down. Rijo fields to Treadway covering at first for the 1-4 sacrifice. So pitcher John Smoltz helping his cause. 1 out, a man in scoring position for Ronnie Gant. Ronnie, a strikeout victim his first time. Skip, after yesterday's game, I went to the ophthalmologist after I misread that home run in left field.
We've all done that.
I'll get to it in a second. Ronnie waits the first pitch. A curveball stays upstairs. She said I needed quadruple focals. One that could see near, one that could see medium range, one that could see far, and one that could see over the fence. Line, left field line foul.
You're going to look funny.
I could read the 9th line on the eye chart before yesterday. After that, I had trouble seeing the E. With men in scoring position, Ronnie hitting at .292, has 27 RBIs, 19 for 65. Line, Sabo, nice play. They'll double off Blocker easily. And the Braves are out of the inning, but you can't fault the way they hit the ball. No runs, 1 hit, no red air, and no one left. After 3 complete, we have no score.
We're going to the top of the 4th inning. Pete Van Weert and Ernie Johnson with you now on Braves TV. Larkin will lead it off. We've got a scoreless game. Every one of the games in this series have been close. Each game has been decided by 1 run. Larkin fouled the first in the first. He'll be followed by Sabo looking for his first hit in the series, and Eric Davis. Smoltz with a pitch, a curve, just missed. Larkin has hit safely in 5 straight. Fastball fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not too bad a crowd on an early start Thursday. We've got a lot of senior citizens here. There's a special arrangement for reduction in ticket prices for senior citizens. $4 seats. And the fastball is outside. 2-1. Smoltz has been behind a few hitters. There's a bouncer to third. Should be an easy out. And it is. Oberkfell throws out Larkin. Now Sabo, who fouled a third first time up. Smoltz is 21 years old. Rijo is only 23. A couple of youngsters who can throw hard. And at this time of the night, it's good to have a fastball. And the curve is a beauty. He had Sabo backing off a bit. Spuds thought it was going to hang inside. 0-1. Another curve, but this one is high, and you can see Benedict with his mitt signaling to the youngster, get it outside. The 1-1 pitch is on the outside corner. And the 1-2 pitch is fouled away. The Reds have 1 hit. That's a double by Davis. And the Braves have a couple of hits. Murphy a double. Terry Blocker a single. Benedict's hiding the signs from me tonight. Pitch is high. 2-2. Two might be the curve, and 2 is the curve. Call strike 3. Sabo didn't like it. He's called out on strikes, and his strikeout number 1 for Smoltz.
It's his 3rd major league strikeout. He got his first 2 against the Mets on fastballs. This time a good curveball. Caught the outside corner. Smoltz clocked on the radar between 88 and 92 miles an hour in his first start, very consistently around the 90-mile-an-hour mark. Has a good curveball and a changeup.
Eric Davis takes a fastball outside. Last time up, he just strided into that first pitch, a fastball, and whipped it past third for a double. And the curve is at the third. Should be an easy inning. And it's an easy inning. Oberkfell throws out Davis. We go to the bottom of the 4th with no score. Ken Oberkfell leads off the bottom of the 4th. He'll be followed by Gerald Perry, then Dale Murphy. Time called by Charlie Williams. He dusts off home plate. The outfield straightens up. Oberkfell uses a whole ballpark. He hits them around. Pitch is high. He hit the ball hard last time up, but he lined it right at Cal Daniels and left. He'll pull the curveball. 2-0. High fly right center. Should be caught by O'Neill, and it is. You can see that Eric Davis is not running properly. He's kind of dragging a leg, but he's playing. Gerald Perry struck out the first time up. Perry, the National League leading hitter. Jose Rijo, he started his career in professional baseball when most kids are playing high school baseball. He was 16 years old. 0-1.
Speaking of young players, we want to congratulate Keith Cheney, son of our former broadcast partner Darrell Cheney. Had a big hit in the Georgia State High School All-Star game last night. The winning RBI went 2 for 2. Nice going, Keith.
Yes, sir. He's a good-looking player.
He's going to be going to Valdosta State on a baseball scholarship.
That's line over third, in for a base hit. But Daniels hasn't played perfectly, and Ferry has to settle for a hard single. Now Murphy, who doubled on the first pitch thrown to him in the second inning.
We also, I know you want to join me, Ernie, in wishing a speedy recovery to Carl Dahlstrom. He's a longtime friend of the Braves. We see him around the ballpark a lot during the year. He comes to spring training every year. He's hospitalized at Emory right now. Doing well, we understand. Carl, hurry back.
Yes, sir. Good friend of Nuxie's. A runner at first. Time is called. Paul O'Neill needs sunglasses. That is the toughest part of this field at this time of the day when the sun is out. Time call for O'Neill. He can't seem to get the attention of the dugout.
Well, he got it, but I think the sunglasses are all the way back in the clubhouse. It's going to take a little time to get them, so he's going to have to wait at least one hitter.
Hit one right now, Murph, to right. Pistol Pete.
He's got the uniform shirt on tonight. First time he's worn that in a long time.
That is a liner in the center field base hit. It was a breaking ball, and the last time Murphy hit a breaking ball for a double, this time it's a single, and it'll bring up Andres Thomas.
Murphy now with 2 hits in the game, but that's the first single he's had in some time. He had a double his first time up tonight. In last night's game, he had 1 hit, a double. In the doubleheader on Tuesday night, he had a home run in the second game, 2 doubles in the first game. His last hit in Sunday's game was a home run, so he was on an extra base hit tear there for a while.
Now Thomas, and the pitch to him is a breaking ball outside. Thomas grounded out last time up, but he did the job. He got Murphy to third, but the Braves couldn't get him in. Lonnie Smith struck out, and Benedict fouled out. And the fastball misses. 2-0. The Reds are 5-3 over the Braves for the season. And the curveball is outside. But these games in this series could have gone either way.
Bat Boy just got back with the sunglasses.
Now the sun doesn't seem to be bothering him. Time is called. And while he runs the sunglasses out, gives us a chance to mention once again, because last night there was probably a lot of New England fans watching the Red Sox for some reason, but they're not on right now. The New England Sports Museum is bringing back the 1948 pennant winners, Boston Braves, on August 5th for a big banquet at 7 o'clock at the Sheraton Hotel. It's open to the public. Dick Johnson can be contacted at the New England Sports Museum. It's a wonderful gesture, bringing back the 48 champs of the National League, the Boston Braves. And we hope they have a nice attendance. Now we're ready to play. O'Neill's got his sunglasses and the pitch. That is a little bit high, and the bases are loaded. Thomas takes a 3-0 pitch high for ball 4, and that is the first walk issued by Jose Rijo. Lonnie Smith. He struck out the first time, and the pitch hit foul back out of play. On Braves Radio now, it's a Goodies home run jackpot. Goodies also a TV sponsor. And if Lonnie Smith or anybody hits a home run right now with the bases loaded, someone is going to pick up $25,000. Bases loaded and nobody out, and Rijo steps off. Randy St. Clair getting ready in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Perry's at third, Murphy second, and Thomas first. I'll tell you, Lonnie Smith has done something a lot of guys don't do. He was a star in the major leagues. He had a drug problem. He's whipped that. He went back to the minor leagues, and he's working his way back. And you got to say, nice going. He is batting .300 at Richmond. Bounced it foul. A lot of guys just quit on it and say, I'm not going to try. Don't you agree, Pete? You got to admire the guy for what he's done. Worked his way back.
Pretty good numbers. He had some big years. Several years over 300.
Yeah,
One year he was runner-up in the MVP balloting.
Yeah, with Philadelphia and St. Louis. Played at Kansas City. 1-2. And the pitch. Outside, you could see him quickly telling Perry not to move on that ball that bounced off the mid of Diaz, and he might have been crossed up.
Lonnie Smith played on 2 world championship teams, and that's always a big plus when you can get a player who knows what it's all about, winning the whole thing.
2-2. The Braves with a great scoring opportunity. There's no score. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and the pitch swung on, fly ball, center field. Davis couldn't find it. Now he finds it and catches it, and here comes Perry, and here comes a throw, and he's going to be safe. And everybody else moves up 90 feet, and Lonnie Smith gets an RBI and a sac fly. Nice going, kid. So Lonnie Smith trying to fight his way back to the major leagues. Has a sac fly and an RBI. Everybody else moved up on the throw to the plate. Murphy is now at third, and Thomas is at first. Perry scored. Sac fly, center field. I thought for a moment Davis lost it. He was drifting back to get a better run at it. The throw wasn't that bad. Here's Benedict. He's been known to squeeze, and the pitch. He's been known to foul it up here. Right up over our heads. And a nice catch. 0-1. Oh, the night's been a success. It hit on the right side. Hit! One in. Thomas Holmes on a clutch hit by Bruce Benedict. 2-0. Bruce gets his 15th RBI on a part-time basis. His 3rd hit in the series.
Benedict continues his good work with the bat this year. Taking the low outside fastball, spraying it to right field. His batting average overall for the year in the low 260s, but 31 hits now in his last 103 at-bats. And that's a little bit over 300 for his last 100-plus at-bats, 103 at-bats.
Scott Breeden out to talk to his pitcher. Pete Rose hasn't been to the mound, I don't believe, in this series. It's unusual. He doesn't make the pitching changes. Most managers make the pitching changes, but Pete has his pitching coach go to the mound when he wants information sent out. And, of course, Breeden has some things he wants to talk to him about. And also, the pitching change itself is made by Breeden.
Well, we're in New York. Ralph Kiner talking about the late Rogers Hornsby when he was a manager. He used to get so furious at his pitchers. He'd leave the dugout but only get about as far as the top step and just wave the one guy in, wave the other guy into the game.
I've seen him do that. He did that when he was with Cincinnati. He'd just have his foot on the top step and wave one in and one out. And boy, they were furious. And Blocker takes a pitch high. First time up, Blocker hit one right back through the middle for a base hit. Benedict at first. Thomas is at third. They're looking for a ground ball double play, and the curveball stays high. And all of a sudden, the son-in-law of Juan Marichal has become very wild. 2-0, and he wears the same number as Marichal, Hall of Famer. Pitch is high. You know, they might let Blocker swing right here. I'm sure they will if he likes it. The pitcher is due next. 3 balls, no strikes. We'll see. We won't know. The ball is way out of the strike zone for a walk. The bases are loaded again for John Smoltz. Now, Smoltz in New York in his debut not only pitched a fine ball game, but he handled himself well at the plate. He didn't strike out. He hit the ball each time he was up there, and he laid down a perfect sacrifice. And he laid down a perfect sacrifice here tonight, so he's 2 for 2 in the bunting department. He'll be swinging here. And the fastball is high, 1-0. Rijo is all over the place. This is the 8th batter in the inning. And the 1-0 pitch is a right call, says Charlie Williams. Thomas is at third, Benedict at second, and Terry Blocker is at first base. Now the 1-1 pitch. Hit foul past first. He was a little late, and it's understandable on that fastball. 1-2. 2-0 Atlanta on 5 hits. You'd almost bet he's going to get a breaking ball, but we'll see. The 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball outside, 2-2. Smoltz took it. I'm down on strikes. There you see the runners. Thomas, Benedict, Blocker. There's the breaking ball high. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the pitcher. And the pitch swung on, it foul. The runners will be going. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now the stretch and the pitch. Swung on foul, so he's fighting it off again.
He's making this game look too easy.
Yes. There have been 3 hits in the inning, a sac fly, a walk. 2 runs have scored. Three and 2 on John Smoltz. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on, he fouled it off. Fans getting with young John Smoltz as he's battling up there. He's fouled off a couple of 3-2 pitches. And give Rijo credit, he's gotten them over. Now the runners will move as the pitch is delivered. And the 3-2. Oop, did he balk? Boy, that was close to a balk. They said no. He faked towards second, but his movement was peculiar. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now he's ready. And he's pitching. Swung on, missed. He swung at ball 4. He battled him and then swung at a breaking ball outside for the strikeout. But Atlanta picks up 2. We go to the 5th inning.
TBS Sports Special comes your way this Saturday, 1:05 Eastern Time, 1:05 p.m. A tour of goodwill as the Atlanta Hawks play their 3rd game against the Soviet national team live from Moscow. The Hawks have won 2 close ones. John Sterling is over in Moscow to bring you the live coverage from Luzhniki Stadium, something close to that, in Moscow. That'll be coming up this Saturday. You see what the Soviet nationals tried to do last night? The game ended in a tie in regulation. They said, that's good enough. We'll settle for that. Mike Fratello said, No,
we don't tie. We win or lose.
Only one baseball score to pass along at this point. Houston at San Diego. It's 3-2 Houston. They go to the 9th inning. It was Nepper against Shao. Now it's Anderson against McCullers. A limited schedule.
If Houston wins that game, they're only 5.5 back in Los Angeles. They won yesterday while the Dodgers lost to San Francisco. Paul O'Neill. Good looking rascal. Plays right field, was a high school pitcher. Finally getting a chance to play on a regular basis. He hit a 3-0 pitch on a high pop to the shortstop first time up. 1-0. Missed inside. 2-0. Foul away. 2 balls and 1 strike. A lot of these major leaguers played American Legion ball when they were kids, and the American Legion Post 7 in Gainesville, Georgia will be hosting the Southern Regional Tournament August 17th through the 21st at Ivy Watson Field. That's good baseball. The winner goes to the World Series, Middletown, Connecticut. That's a high pop to Gann. That is 1 down. Boy, that was up there a long way. O'Neill pops to the second.
We talked about it being a limited schedule in the major leagues. It's not a limited schedule in Richmond tonight. Richmond and Maine playing what in effect is a triple header. They had a double header to make up an earlier rainout schedule. It's the last trip in for the Maine club. They had a doubleheader scheduled last night. The second game got suspended in the 5th inning, so they'll complete that one and then play 2.
Praying for 9-inning route-going jobs, at least 1. Here's the pitch to Osaski, and the curveball settles in there.
And they're a little short of players, too, because Terry Blocker and Lonnie Smith both called up after last night, and now Joe Baver's on his way, so they're going to have to scrap for some players.
Baver was their ace relief pitcher. That's well hit to center. Should be caught, and Blocker catches it one-handed very calmly. One of the reasons that Russ Nixon wanted Blocker up here, he wanted somebody to go out there and play Major League center field. He's had a lot of problems out there. And the report is that Blocker can, and we saw him in spring training, he can play the field. With Bo Diaz. Bruce Del Canton and Russ Nixon talk it over. No, that was Roy Matika, excuse me, along with Nix. There's a curveball in there. Diaz hit into a double play in the 2nd inning. It was an unusual one because Davis was trying to steal 3rd, and the ball was hit right to Oberkvell, and he just calmly tagged Davis and threw to 1st. Diaz has an odd stance. He is right up on his tiptoes almost with the left foot, right up on the ball of his foot. 2-1. 2 outs. High pop foul, back out of play. We had some threatening clouds. We still got a few, but I can see a little blue in right field, so perhaps there will be no rain. There's been some in the area all day. Watch him get up on that toe. And that ball is hard hit, but right at the shortstop, Andres Thomas. And that's a 1-2-3 for the 3rd inning in a row for John Smoltz. We go to the bottom of the 5th.
This telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta National League Baseball Club and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club is prohibited.
Ronnie Gann leads it off, bottom of the 5th. He struck out and lined into a double play, and a great catch by Sabo. And he double Blocker off second, but it was understandable. And the pitch is over. 0-1. Sabo went to his left and just got the ball in the webbing. Blocker just a few feet. He wasn't moving off second base, couldn't get back. The curveball is outside. Gann with 4 hits in a series. Missed the curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Reds go from here to San Diego. The Braves go to San Francisco. 1-2. Just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zane Smith goes against Rick Rushell tomorrow night. Just a little bit low. It's 3-2.
Rijo knows what it's like to pitch in these games. His last start, he pitched a 3-hitter, struck out 12, lost 1-0. 4 starts ago, pitched a 3-hitter, struck out 6, lost 1-0.
Curveball and a good pitch popped up Gant in foul territory off third. Sabo makes a catch. An excellent pitch, a 3-2 breaking ball from a fastball pitcher. Now Oberkfell, who was lined to left and flied to center. Cincinnati's pitching has been strong lately. It's the hitting is concerning him. There's a fly ball to left. Going to be an easy inning. Daniels in and makes the catch. Quickly 2 away. Here's Gerald Perry, who struck out and singled and scored in the 4th inning. The Reds pitching staff an ERA of 2.43 in their last 26 games. 1-0. The let-up bounces all over the place, right over to Murphy after caroming off the shin guard of Diaz.
That kind of pitching that the Reds have gotten, normally when you get that kind of pitching over a 26-game span, you win 20 or 21 of those games. They're only 16-10 over that stretch.
The 3-0 pitch is flied to left, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves go quietly after a noisy 4th. We go to the 6th inning, 2-0 Atlanta. They're a little late for the Beach Boy concert. We're going to the 6th inning. John and Stuart Frank are here from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and watching tonight Kay Stinson in Meridian, Mississippi, and Dorothy Thompson in Charlottesville, Virginia. They never miss a Braves telecast. Our score is 2-0 Atlanta. Local boy makes good. Right down here from Griffin is Jeff Treadway, and he'll lead it off, and here's Pete.
Okay, thank you, Ernie. Treadway flied to deep right his first time up against John Smoltz, who has Cincinnati shut out on just 1 hit. There's a drive to even deeper right field. Murphy back to the warning track, leaping against the wall, can't get it. Treadway heads for second. He's going to round second, head for third, and he's going to make it sliding. A triple for Jeff Treadway. So the youngster from right down the road in Griffin gets his 4th triple of the year.
I think it was a fastball. He's got a closed stance, and he really got into that ball. In fact, I thought it might be out of the ballpark. Murphy came close. It hit behind his glove. And by the time Murphy could run it down, Treadway had a triple.
Now Jose Rijo, who lined out to right his first time. The infield's going to play in.
He's going to fake.
Didn't get the breaking ball. 0-1.
Anyone standing out there as if to bunt with the infield in and a runner at third, you knew he wasn't going to bunt. Might change his mind now.
Taking a fastball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 runs, 5 hits for Atlanta. No runs, 2 hits now for Cincinnati. The Reds with their best scoring opportunity. A runner at third. Nobody out. And the 1-1 on the way. Broken bat, foul ball over the Braves dugout into the crowd. And Rijo will need some new lumber as the count goes to 1-2.
Very seldom you try to strike somebody out unless it's a pitcher, and I'm sure that right now Benedict and Smoltz talking it over are going to select a pitch that they feel they can strike him out with. possibly the curveball rather than the fastball. He broke his bat on the fastball. And the first time up, he hit a fastball to right field. A line drive that was caught by Murphy.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And there is the breaking ball, grounded to short. The runner has to stay put. There's 1 out, and the runner is still at third.
Well, they're going to stay right there. Very seldom do you bring your infield in with nobody out, unless it's someone like the pitcher up there in a game like this. Usually you say, well, we'll play back, we'll give the run, we'll get the out, keep out of the big inning. But they played up then. Now they should be up again, I would think.
Well, with Daniels batting, looks like they're going to play him back in the middle of the infield anyway.
Now they're going to give the run if it's hit to second or short.
Daniels popped to short in the first inning. He flied to center in the third.
Well, my strategy is never the same as a manager. I mean, that would be, you know.
Have to give all the alternatives.
Yes.
The job of the broadcaster. Out of play by Daniels, 0-1. It's 2-0 Atlanta. Braves trying to salvage a split in this series. Tomorrow night, Zane Smith against Rick Russell from Candlestick Park. Smoltz quickly ahead, 0-2. One thing that Bruce Benedict talked about after catching John Smoltz in the first game that he was really impressed with was the poise that the 21-year-old youngster has and the pace that he pitches. A lot of times a kid gets in a situation with a man in scoring position and really slows down his pace. Not John Smoltz. He gets that ball, he gets the sign, and he goes right to work. And he goes right after the hitters. The 0-2. Just missed inside, 1-2. There's your runner at third, Jeff Treadway, who led off the inning with a triple. He's still the runner there with 1 out. And the 1-2 pitch to Daniels. Bouncing ball to the right side. This will score the run. Ron Gant on to Perry in time. Treadway scores, 2 men out. Give Daniels his 41st RBI of the year. Now shortstop Barry Larkin, who is fouled out to first, grounded out to third. You look at this Reds lineup, they've got a fairly equal power distribution throughout the lineup. Daniels 10 home runs, Larkin 10, Sabo 11, Davis 16, O'Neill 10, Osaski 9, Diaz 7. They can hurt you with a long one almost anywhere in the batting order.
But their batting average is about 10 points lower than the Braves.
And they've scored about 100 runs less this year than they did last year at this stage of the season.
It's hard to figure with that talent.
It's about a run a ball game. 2-0 the count now on Barry Larkin. Look at that difference. 105 runs difference in 100 games. You take away 1 run per game from any ball club, and it's going to be a big drop off from being a contender. Off the glove of Andres Thomas. That might be ruled an error. Over quickly is Lonnie Smith. He falls down. Now comes up with the ball and all the way around to second.
Should be an error.
Barry Larkin. That should be an error because Andres Thomas tried one of those side saddle catches on the line drive, and it got past him.
Well, he's got to catch the ball. He's just got to move over and catch it with 2 hands. See where he's standing? He just move over, catch it with 2 hands, go to the dugout.
It'll be an error charged to Andres Thomas, enabling Larkin to go all the way around to second. And Chris Sabo, the batter. Sabo fouled out to third in the first inning, looked at a 3rd strike in the 4th. He's hitless in 12 at bats now in this series. Didn't get the curveball, 0-1. It's a 2-1 Atlanta lead. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. Another pitcher's battle. Every game has been that way in this series. Fastball for a strike, 0-2.
Last time up, he struck him out with a curve. Sabo didn't like the call. He's not had a very good second half, has he? Batting .120 since the break.
A wasted pitch down and away, 1-2. One of the reasons might be the move in the batting order. He's been batting in the 3 and 4 spots. He got off to that great start, batting down at about the number 7 spot in the order. A lot of times,
not as much pressure down there.
A lot of hitters can't handle that RBI responsibility, batting in the power slots in the order. That'll be out of play. A ball and 2 strikes the count. You very seldom see a rookie batting in the number 3 or 4 spot, regardless of his talent.
He's a good player, Sabo. Not only as a batter, but he just bears down. He gets his uniform dirty and hustles all the time. I was surprised by his speed. He has 32 stolen bases.
Down at second, Larkin gets his lead. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. It's a curve, and it missed low and away. 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch got him on a curveball again. Second strikeout of the game for John Smoltz. The victim both times has been Chris Sabo. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2-1 Atlanta. In the bottom half of the 6th inning, Murphy, Thomas, and Lonnie Smith due up against Jose Rijo. Murphy 2 out of 2. He's doubled, he's singled. He has a 6-game hitting streak, 11 hits in his last 22 at bats. Batting average steadily rising, now at 239. Now at 240. Into right center field. Murphy will try for 2. He'll make it easily. Another double, his second double of the game. 26th double of the year. And really, for the first time all year, Murphy's hot hitting is carried for a longer stretch than 2 or 3 games.
Hits it to right center, just out of the reach of Treadway. And here's Thomas.
Andres is 0 for 1. He has grounded out to second and walked. A ball and no strikes on Andres Thomas. Look out.
Oh!
I don't know how that missed everybody down there, but somehow, fortunately, it did.
I don't know if it did. Miss one young man down there.
One and one the count. Coming back this way. Ernie, if you only had the net, that would have been a catch.
That would have been a catch.
The count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Everybody is okay on that last foul ball. It caromed off a seat and hit a young guy in the shoulder, but he's all right. The next pitch to Thomas, bounce back to the mound. They've got Murphy hung up. Rijo running right at him. Throws now to Sabo. Murphy staying in the rundown long enough to allow Andres Thomas to get to second base. So no harm done. Even though Murphy was guilty of a little bad base running there, he made up for it with some good base running. Staying in the rundown long enough to allow Thomas to get to where he was at second.
Here we look at it. A breaking ball hit back to the pitcher. Rijo catches Murphy going toward third, then runs right at him, throws it to Sabo. Meanwhile, Thomas is watching the action, and right about then he broke for second, so he knew that he was going to be safe. Murphy's got to be a little tired. Finally tagged out.
Lonnie Smith, who drove in a run with a sac fly to center his last time up after striking out in the second, fouls away the first pitch, 0-1. So the runner is still at second with 1 out. That would have been the situation even if Murphy had held the bag at second. So no harm done. And the 0-1 pitch is low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
1-5-6-1 on that play of catching Murphy. That's a pitcher to the third baseman, to the shortstop, back to the pitcher.
Now the 1-1 coming. Taken upstairs, 2-1. Frank Williams up in the Cincinnati bullpen. Braves leading at 2-1. Every game in this series a low-scoring, one-run ball game.
Best line of the week is for George Brett. You know, many players feel the umpires make the strike zone a little wider for the superstars, and Brett, who's a friend of Boggs, said there'll be a woman president before Wade Boggs is ever called out on strikes.
The runner is going. The pitch is high to throw to third. Didn't get him. Andres Thomas stealing that one on Jose Rijo. That high leg kick of his fourth stolen base of the year. And the count full, 3-2 now on Lonnie Smith.
Now, Thomas doesn't run that often, but when he runs, there's a good chance he's going to make it. He stole that on the pitcher. The throw wasn't that bad. It was a little bit off to the left, but he stole it on Rijo. He's 4-0 in stolen bases, so you can see he really picks his spots.
The infield in now for Cincinnati on the 3-2 pitch to Lonnie Smith, who walks. And Lonnie Smith brings an added dimension of speed to the Braves. He's always been able to run well. Had 26 stolen bases at Richmond.
Well, with Benedict up, you don't know what they're going to try. They can try hit and run. They can let him swing away. They can squeeze. And Wine went over to talk to Andres Thomas. They're back looking for the double play, of course.
In 1982 with the Cardinals, Lonnie Smith stole 68 bases. That's his major league high for 1 year. He's not going anywhere in the first pitch. Benedict fouls it back out of play. One man out. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning. Braves trying to add here to a one-run lead. Smith chased back. Somebody missed a sign. Andres Thomas broke from third like the squeeze play was on. He's going to be out. Down to second goes Lonnie Smith. It's a 2-5-2 on the caught stealing. Catcher to third, back to catcher. And I don't know who missed the sign, whether Andres missed it or Bruce.
Somebody did, because here comes Thomas on the suicide squeeze, and Benedict is not bunting. And Diaz didn't see him right away. Now he fires it to Sabo. And Diaz staying out of the baseline without the ball. That's very smart. Then caught it and tagged him.
So another blunder on the base pads by Atlanta costs an out. Smith at second now. And the 1-1 pitch to Benedict is bounced up the middle. Shortstop Larkin across to Asaski. And the Braves, who had a chance to score, unable to capitalize. They leave a runner at second. We've completed 6. 2-1 Atlanta. We go to the 7th inning. It'll be Eric Davis, Paul O'Neill, and Nick Asaski do up against John Smoltz. Pete Van Weer and Skip Carey with you now for the final 3 innings. Smoltz, another impressive outing, regardless of what happens from this point on. Eric Davis has one of the 2 hits off of John Smoltz, a double in the 2nd inning. He grounded out the 3rd and the 4th inning.
It's getting so that distance between first around to home is like the Bermuda Triangle. Guys get out there and then boom, they're gone.
Getting a little tough. I wonder what the Braves will work on first in spring training next year. And longest. Deep to left field. Lonnie Smith to the warning track. We've got a tie ball game. Eric Davis, his 17th home run of the year, his 53rd RBI. It just did clear the fence. And it's a 2-2 game.
He hit a curveball. Didn't get it down as much as he would have liked, but he's a pretty good hitter.
First home run given up in 2 games by John Smoltz. Paul O'Neill, who has popped to short and popped to second, is going to pop to the second baseman again. 1 out. Now Nick Asaski, who has walked and flied to center, has game-winning home runs in 2 of the 3 games of this series. Nothing in 1, the count on Asaski. 2 runs, 6 hits for Atlanta, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Reds. We're in the top of the 7th. Andres Thomas, a long run, comes up with it, throws a one-hopper, and Perry handles it. Good play on both ends. Out number 2 in the top of the 7th.
Really an awkward throw for Andres to make here. He makes a good play just to get to the ball. Then he's off balance, can't get set at all, and Gerald an in-between hopper.
That's one where if you're a first baseman, you know the throw is going to be tough because you know that the shortstop is not going to be able to get much on it. So you're anticipating a long hop or a short hop or something. It's when you don't anticipate them that you see a lot of first basemen not be able to hang on. Bo Diaz has grounded into a 5-3 double play and grounded out to short. Two and 0 the count on Diaz. The Braves bullpen up for the first time tonight. Paul Ossenmacher. Andres Thomas with another tough chance. That ball took a high hop, but he got plenty on the throw this time. And that is all for Cincinnati. The leadoff home run, though, by Eric Davis has tied this game. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-2. There's your score as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Crowd of 12,539 on hand. Terry Blocker, John Smoltz, Ron Gant due up. Blocker has singled and walked. Taking a strike, nothing in 1. Rijo still has plenty of smoke left on that fastball. He missed upstairs with it, but it's 1 ball, 1 strike. In the left field, it's going to fall for a base hit. And Blocker with a leadoff single. That might have kept John Smoltz in the ball game. He'll be called on to bunt here.
Let's keep an eye on Blocker here and hope he doesn't vanish.
He was doubled off second on a line drive hit by Ron Gant, although that ball was hit so hard and Sabo made such a sensational play. I don't know if anybody could have gotten back on that one. Smoltz had a successful sacrifice in the 3rd. He struck out in the 4th. The bunt is down the first base side. Smoltz with his 3rd successful sacrifice bunt in his first 2 major league games. A 1-4 sack moves Blocker down to second. Now Gant, who has struck out, hit into that 5-4 double play and then fouled out to third. Looks like Rob Murphy in the Cincinnati bullpen. Gant takes ball 1. There's Rob Murphy. Here's the 1-0 to Gant. Took a little off that pitch and missed outside. 2-0. Two balls and a strike now in Gant. a high fastball by him. It's 2-2. Cincinnati appears to be in very good shape, barring any injuries, for quite a long time in the starting rotation, with Tom Browning and Danny Jackson and Jose Rijo, all youngsters. Jack Armstrong, who they just called up, their #1 draft pick from a year ago. Treadway over to Osaski, retires Gatt, moving over to third as blocker. Now it'll take a 2-out hit from Ken Oberkfell. In fact, their entire pitching staff on the young side. And even out in that bullpen, you've got Franco and Murphy, Randy St. Clair, Rob Dibble. It's a young pitching staff they've got, and that's a very strong part of their ball club this year, and should be for a while. High and tight to Oberkfell, ball 1. Let's not forget Ron Robinson either. He can work as either a starter or a reliever. He's on the disabled list right now. 2-0 the count. We're tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. The Braves have a potential go-ahead run at third with 2 outs. Rijo taking a little off, getting a strike. 2-1. Three and 1 now to Oberkfell, with Gerald Perry waiting on deck. If Rijo loses Oberkfell, you might see Rob Murphy in the game against Perry. It's full now, 3-2. He lost him. That is 4 walks issued now by Jose Rijo. Scott Breeden is on his way to the mound. We'll see if he's bringing the hook with him. You've got the league's leading hitter, Gerald Perry, who in this game has struck out, singled, and flied to left. And Gerald will have to get a 2-out hit if he gets one off a left-hander, as Rob Murphy is making his way into the game. He'll be facing Perry with runners first and third and 2 down in a tie game, and we'll be right back. Here's Rob Murphy completing his warm-ups. This is his 49th appearance. His 1-loss record not very good, but a very good earned run average. And the rest of the numbers very good. Very good hits to innings pitched ratio. Good ratios all around. That no home run stands out, doesn't it? Very interesting fellow, Rob Murphy. Very superstitious guy. He'll go through his routine with a rosin bag when he's ready to pitch to Gerald Perry. When he's not playing baseball, Rob Murphy is raising and handicapping thoroughbred horses, and does it very well. So it'll be Gerald Perry facing Rob Murphy, but first he'll have to. The rosin bag just isn't in the right place, is it, Rob? Now Murphy will go through his routine. First, the talk to himself. And now while he lines up the rosin bag, what is going on, Skip?
You don't want to know. The announcement was the Atlanta Braves regret the inconvenience that is being caused by the no water situation here at the ballpark. The major city of Atlanta water main has been ruptured. All water to the city of Atlanta has been cut off for the next 2.5 hours.
Showers are going to be a little tough after the game.
What a fun charter this is going to be.
Nothing in 1 to count on Gerald Perry. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Nothing and 2 the count. I've never really cared whether I sat up in first class with the coaches and manager or back with the players, but
we'll be sitting on somebody's lap up there tonight. It's either that or somebody need to fill their swimming pool, some city official. I don't know.
Nothing and 2 the count on Perry. Tried to jam him with a fastball and missed too close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're tied at 2. And the 1-2 on the way, fouled off. Bottom half of the 7th inning. This game, just like all the other ones in the series, scores have been 3-2 and 2-1 and 3-2, and this one tied at 2-2. You saw the runners. Blocker at third, Oberg fell at first. And now Murphy's 1-2 right out to the shortstop Larkin, and Murphy puts out the fire despite the lack of water. We've completed 7. Still a 2-2 game. On the scoreboard, one final now in the National League. Houston beats San Diego. Nepper over Schau. Doran a home run, his 6th of the year for Houston. They are now 5.5 back of the Dodgers, who are idle tonight. The only other games in the National League: St. Louis at Montreal, Chicago at Philadelphia. On the American League schedule, 4 games tonight: Milwaukee at New York, Baltimore at Cleveland, Kansas City at Detroit, California at Chicago. So a limited schedule in the major leagues, but as we told you earlier, they're making up for that at Richmond, where they're playing in effect a triple-header tonight. Make up for the completion of a suspended game followed by 2. We go to the 8th inning. Jeff Treadway will lead it off against John Smoltz in a 2-2 game. Here's Skip.
Okay, Pete, thank you. Treadway has flied to right, tripled, scored a run. Frank Williams is in the bullpen. Looks like Dave Collins is on deck to pinch hit next for Rob Murphy. Treadway stands in there. Smoltz has pitched impressively again, as you see. 2 runs, 3 hits. You'll take that every time out. Fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Grounded foul past first. Count evens, 1-1. Nobody on, nobody out, 8th inning. Tried to bunt his way on, bunted it foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Zane Smith against Rick Russell tomorrow night in San Francisco. We'll have it for you at 10:30 Eastern Time. Treadway in the hole. Line down the right field line. Trouble if it's fair, and it is. Rattling around in the corner. Treadway is at second, and he'll pull in there with a leadoff double. He dropped it. It looked like right on the chalk down the right field line. He's 2 out of 3, a triple and a double.
And the youngster from Griffin picking up where Nick Osaski from neighboring Marietta has hurt the Braves earlier in this series. Treadway's triple in the 6th inning resulted in the Reds scoring their first run. He came home on a ground out. Now he's got a chance to score the go-ahead run.
There's Dave Collins. You halfway expect him to be bunting here. So Smoltz is in a mess. The stretch, now time called. A ball has somehow rolled out of the bullpen. That's all taken care of. He shortened up. Took it high. 1 ball, no strikes. Collins at 246 on the year. Bruce Kim runs through the signs. The 1-0 pitch. He bunts hard. Smoltz goes to third. They got it. He can make all the plays out there, folks. That was a big play. Never hesitated.
We've talked a lot about the poise this young man has showed, and it's in plays like this where it really stands out. You'd see a lot of players make this play and attempt to make the throw. Even guys that have been in the league a couple of years. Look at that strike that he threw to Oberkfell. Threw it right on the money. You see a lot of rushed throws in situations like that, especially from youngsters, that result in errors and runs scoring. But Smoltz kept his cool, threw him out. Now the situation much easier. Runner at first and 1 out.
And Cal Daniels, the batter. Fastball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Collins used to be an excellent base stealer his first trip with the Reds. The years may have taken a little bounce out of his legs, but he's still doing all right. They chase him back, and that throw was perfect. If a pitcher can make an accurate throw to first base, by accurate I mean a little bit into the runner and low, he doesn't have to have as good a move as a guy whose throw comes in about eye high. Fastball at the letter. If you can get that runner to tag himself and the first baseman doesn't have to waste time applying the tag, you just save yourself a lot of time. A ball and a strike. Popped him up. Benedict called off by Perry. 2 down. Daniels is retired. It's all up to Barry Larkin for the Reds. Larkin is 0 for 3. He's been on base once. He reached on an error. Smoltz looks in. Now will Collins run? Not on this pitch, and it's a strike.
With the emergence of John Smoltz, at least through these first 2 starts, you can begin to see the whole thing start to turn just a little bit. Tom Glavine pitching better, Pete Smith pitching better, John Smoltz now showing that he can pitch up here. Other kids coming. A couple of them already here, and everyday players, Ron Gant in particular.
Up the middle, Thomas there. He'll step on the bag, and the inning is over. A leadoff double comes to nothing. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. Bottom half of the 8th inning. We're tied 2-2. Bottom half of the 8th inning, Frank Williams on to pitch. You see, he has a good earned run average, and he's worked quite a bit. A former San Francisco Giant is Williams. He'll face Murphy, Thomas, Lonnie Smith, or at least those are the scheduled hitters as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Murphy has been perfect. 2 doubles and a single to this point. So Murph leads it off. innings, 6 2/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. The pitch. Low and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Rob Murphy, a third of an inning, got out the only man he faced, and now Frank Williams, all against John Smoltz. The Atlanta bullpen is empty at the moment. Swung and missed. He had a home run cut. Pete, did you guys ever get an exact definition of what Bell's palsy is?
We described it merely as in layman's terms, a facial paralysis and nerve situation.
Well, I got Dr. Callum called us up on radio with a breakdown. Inside, 2-1. Said Bell's palsy is an acute inflammatory reaction of the 7th cranial nerve, which is the facial nerve, at the site of the stylomastoid foramen, and it's treated with analgesics for pain and support for the drooping. 2-2. Says it's a slight paralysis affecting one side of the face.
They used to call it trainman's disease because a lot of locomotive engineers would become afflicted with that situation from having the wind blow on the same side of their face for such long periods of time. Yeah.
You would think that then the cure would be to turn the train around. And
for those who did not hear, Bruce Sutter, placed on the disabled list, afflicted with Bell's palsy. It was diagnosed. Joe Baver's been called up. He'll join the club in time for the series in San Francisco.
The 2-2 popped up, foul territory. Diaz comes back. Will he have room? He will. 1 out. Murphy is retired. Andres Thomas, the batter. Just from that shot of Sutter, I've only really seen it once before, and that was another serious case the late Pete Maravich had when he played for the Hawks, and Bruce doesn't look anywhere near as bad as Pete did.
I had a former neighbor who now lives in Tennessee who was afflicted with it. It lasted about 2 months, and one of the effects was he could not close his eye. He had to wear a patch over his eye.
But that's what happened to Maravich, too. It didn't last that long, but he couldn't play because no protection for the eye. Andres was out in front, missed a breaking ball, 0-1. 2-2, 8th inning. Another nip and tuck contest here. Oh, 2. Tap right back to the mound. 2 quick outs. Here's Lonnie Smith. Lonnie has driven in a run with a sacrifice fly. 0 for 1. Curve outside. Two our score. Bruce Benedict on deck. Well, maybe Lonnie Smith can celebrate his return to the biggies with a homer. He had that idea, but he hit it foul to left. It's a ball and a strike. Thanks to Pete's research, we find that Lonnie Smith has 44 major league home runs, 957 hits as a big leaguer. The 1-1 fouled away. little chin music for Lonnie Smith. Count evens 2-2. Just missed inside. Williams and Diaz thought they had him struck out. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He walked him. So Lonnie Smith is aboard with 2 out. He can run. And he could be trying to swipe a base as Benedict comes to the plate. For Bruce is not a power hitter. Diaz talks it over with Frank Williams. Benedict 1 for 3, an RBI single to right. He continues to do good work. He's gotten a chance this year to play, and he's made the most of it. Charlie Palaio goes to work in the Atlanta bullpen. There he goes. Diaz throw. He is out. Perfect throw. He tagged himself sliding in. Larkin took the throw, and the inning is over. No hits, no runs, no errors, none left. We've played 8, tied 2-2. The middle of the order up there for the Reds in the 9th inning. Sabo, Davis, and O'Neill will face John Smoltz, who has again pitched his way into the hearts of his fans and teammates and manager and coaches. Sabo having a tough time of it. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And he's 0 for 13 in the series. Since the All-Star break, the hits have been few and far between. He lashes that to left. Lonnie Smith is there, 1 out. So Sabo is retired. Here's Eric Davis, who's been a problem. He's whacked a long home run, and he is doubled. Sabo 6 for 52 since the All-Star break. That information screamed to me by our associate director, Richard Crooker. He was just the middleman. Al Galima got the info. The pitch. Low and away. 2-0. The clouds have pretty well cleared here. Into deep left center. How far will it go? That ball is up against and hopping over. It'll be a book rule double. So the go-ahead run is at second with 1 out.
Eric Davis' bat seems to be coming back to life after a very slow start this year. 3 extra base hits now in this game. 20 hits in 48 at-bats over the last 15 games. It's over 400.
O'Neill is 0 for 3. 3 infield pops. He won't get a chance to hit here. They are walking him to pitch to Osaski, which is the percentage butt. I've seen enough of him for this series. So O'Neill will be walked. Runners at first and second, 1 out. second walk for Smoltz in the game. He credits our old pal Leo Mazzoni with really helping him. Control had always been a problem for John until this year. That was the 100th pitch of the game for Smoltz. And here's Osaski. Tonight he has walked, line to center, bounced to short. He has 2 game-winning RBI homers in this series. Bo Diaz is on deck. And that's the story here. Curve outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Reds have Oster and Milner. That's on the corner. It's 1-1. Ron Reed. Herm Winningham, who can swing the bat from the left side, on their bench. A ball and a strike. Time called. Another ball gets away. The 1-1. There's a drive. He's done it again. Can you believe it? A blue seater, and it got out of here in about a second and a half. What a show he has put on.
Just amazing. There's no other team in the league that feels that Nick Osaski is the kind of guy that's going to beat you in a ball game. He does have power, but the power he's displayed against Atlanta, if he displayed this kind of power against the rest of the league, he'd lead the league in home runs every year easily.
Diaz takes a strike. It's 0-1.
That is 14 home runs in this ballpark in 110 at bats.
Line right field, base hit. Diaz reached out, banged it into right, and that's going to be all for Smoltz. And unless the Braves mount a big rally, he's going to be the loser here, and he is going to have given up at least 5 runs. The runner on base is his responsibility, so his line score isn't going to look too good tomorrow. But if you're a Braves fan, you had to like the way he pitched again in this game tonight till that man again, Nick Osaski, blew him away. Paul Ossenmacher will come in out of the Atlanta bullpen. If Osaski played for the Braves, he would catch Henry Aaron in 4 years. We'll be back.
This relief break is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol, because the pitcher isn't the only one at this ball game who needs some relief.
There you see Nick Osaski has done it again tonight. Just to give you an idea of what he's done in this stadium, the ratio home runs to at-bats that he's doing it. We mentioned he has 14 home runs and 110 at-bats here. Now take a typical power hitter who plays every day during the course of a year. He's going to get about 550 at-bats or so. That would be 70 home runs in a season. If he was maintaining that ratio all around the league, it'd be a 70 home run. He'd be on a 70 home run pace. It's just unbelievable that he does what he does in this ballpark and doesn't hurt the Braves that much really in Cincinnati. Only 2 times in Cincinnati has he hit a home run against Atlanta.
You know, they call it the launching pad, and so you might think, well, you know, he's just hitting those little fly balls. He has crushed the ball. It'd be out of any park, including Yellowstone. There's John Smoltz, who's disappointed, but needn't be. He did a fine job. And Treadway bats against Ossenmacher. It's 5-2 Cincy. 0-1 the count. Smoltz went 8 1/3. Gave up 7 hits, struck out 2, walked 2, 5 runs, 2 homers. 5, 4, 3. So Assenmacher gets out of it just like that. But we go to the bottom of the ninth with the Reds enjoying a 5-2 lead. Ron Oster checks into the game to play second base. He'll bat ninth. John Franco is the new pitcher. He'll hit in the eighth spot for Cincinnati. We go to the ninth inning. Benedict, blocker, and a pinch hitter for Assenmacher due for Atlanta. Frank Williams has a chance to get the win here. He won an inning, walked one, but got him out. Benedict 1 for 3, an RBI single. Franco has picked up his 19th and 20th saves in this series. 10:30 TV time tomorrow night. Rushell and Mailer will pitch it from San Francisco. As part of the crowd of 12,539. And here's Bruce Benedict. In the other baseball, Houston beat the Padres 3-2. Cardinals got a run in the first at Montreal against Bryn Smith. Bob Force pitching. Cubs and Phils scoreless after one. Calvin Schiraldi against Shane Raleigh. Down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Milwaukee and the Yankees scoreless after one. Likewise, Baltimore, Cleveland, Kansas City, and Detroit. California and the White Sox later. Chop to third. Sabo has it. 1 out. Terry Blocker will be called back here. And Paul Runge will come out to him. And Jim Morrison has grabbed a bat and he'll hit next for Assenmacher. 5-2 Reds our score. Braves would go to 30 games under 500 again, unless they can rally here. And that doesn't appear likely. Runge waits. Franco ready. Fastball line, base hit right field. O'Neill over and up with it. Runge is aboard with 1 out. Well, there's a start. Let's see if Morrison can keep it going. Morrison came over here sort of as a fill-in. But he has shown a happy faculty to drive in runs and may be a part of the Braves picture next year.
I think the feeling is if the Braves go with youngsters next year, whether it be starting pitching or everyday players, you do have to have some veterans on the bench to back up those kids. There'll be a lot of youth on the team next year, but there's going to have to be a sprinkling of veterans to come up and pinch hit and give some bullpen help as well.
The pitch is a fast strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Runner at first, 1 out, 5-2 Reds, 9th inning. Pete Van Wieren, Skip Carey with you. The 0-1. Uh-oh. For them, but they get the force up. A fortuitous hop for Larkin. I don't know if it was hit hard enough to get a double play anyway.
A bad break for Atlanta here. The ball bobbled by the normally sure-handed Larkin, hit off his knee and carried him right to the second baseman, Ron Oster, for the force play. So no error charge, just a 6-4 force.
Larkin would tell you that they work on that play in spring training, but he'd be kidding. Well, Ron Gant is Atlanta's last hope. Have to get one more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. And Ted Simmons has moved on deck to pinch hit for Oberkfell if we get that far. Ground ball foul past first. Gant checks the bat to see if it's still in one piece. There's Simba. A ball and a strike. Franco looks in. The pitch. Boy, he had some smoke on that one. A ball and 2 strikes. Gant 0 for 4 on the night. Boy, just did stay alive there. Franco taking like a golfer's practice swing there as he went through the motions of his breaking ball, it looked like. The Dodgers let this fella get away. Nowhere near with that.
And since they let him get away, they've gone through about 6 different left-handers out in that bullpen, trying to find someone to replace Steve Howe. Jesse Orozco is their man out there this year.
Franco almost took a tumble there as he got the return throw from Bodilla. That's it. Screwball, and the ball game is over. So Nick Osaski and company do it again. Osaski 3 game-winning homers as the Reds win 3 out of 4. Totals and highlights after this.
TNT, coming this fall on cable.
The Reds win the series 3 out of 4, and Pete has the totals on the last one.
5-7-0 for Cincinnati. They'll have 3 men on. Atlanta 2-8-1. The Braves stranded 8. Frank Williams picks up the win. He's now 1-1. John Franco, another save, his 21st of the year. And John Smoltz, who was very, very impressive over the first 8 innings, burned by that 3-run homer by Nick Osaski in the 9th. He suffers his first major league loss to even his record at 1-1.
For the next few minutes, we'll present the 3 Stooges for you, and that will be followed by Fort Apache, starring Henry Fonda, John Wayne, and Shirley Temple, directed by John Ford. We'll be with you at 10:30 Eastern Time tomorrow from Candlestick Park in San Francisco, where Russell will be on the mound against Zane Smith. For Pete Van Wieren, Ernie Johnson, Billy Sample, and our TBS crew, Skip Carey from the ballpark. So long, everybody.
Atlanta Braves baseball has been brought to you by Michelob. So exceptionally smooth, the night belongs to Michelob. By the official airline of the Atlanta Braves, Delta. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Eckerd Drugs, America's family drugstore. Atlanta Braves baseball is a production of TBS Sports.